The moment her friends greeted me with smiles that glittered a little too perfectly, I knew something was off. 3 of them were arranged in a tight circle in our living room, legs crossed, eyes shining with a kind of practiced brightness. She stood behind them, arms folded, lips curled upward like she was watching a scene she'd already rehearsed in her head. "Sit," one of them murmured, as if I were a visitor in my own house. My pulse didn't quicken. It slowed, because everything felt staged, set up, curated, like I had wandered into a performance no one told me I was part of. I sat anyway, not for them, but because quiet gives me the clearest view of what people try to conceal. Her friend cleared her throat. The others traded glances. Then it began. One criticism, then another, each spoken like lines they had practiced in advance. And she, my girlfriend, watched with that soft, satisfied little smile. 2 hours. Their energy never faded. I lost track of how many times I blinked, but I didn't answer a single word. I just listened, letting them reveal more than they realized. When they finally stopped, the room fell still. Her friends sat there looking pleased with themselves. She looked victorious. And inside me, something shifted, calm, cold, final. I leaned forward. "Thanks for the clarity," I said. They eased back, relieved, proud of their performance. Then I turned to her. "I'll work on all that in my next relationship." Everything froze. She stared like she couldn't believe what she heard. Her friends went completely still. I sat back, watching their faces crumble in slow motion. But the truth. This wasn't sudden. This wasn't random. This wasn't the first warning sign. Her phone had been lighting up for days with messages she hid as soon as I walked in. She laughed with them in ways she didn't laugh with me anymore. They whispered around me like I was a disruption. And last week, I found a note on her vanity. Intervention. Talking points. Focus on emotional unavailability. Lack of ambition. Communication issues. Handwritten. Check marks beside each one. She had planned all of this, scripted it, recruited them like a panel of judges. I tried to rationalize it, convinced myself she wouldn't ambush me like this. But denial only survives until someone hands you the speech they intend to read aloud. Tonight confirmed everything. She didn't want a partner. She wanted spectators. And I had just been the opening act. Her friends started scrambling to explain themselves, trying to soften the hit they had carefully arranged. "It's just constructive feedback. We're trying to help. We care about your relationship." But the cracks in their performance were obvious now, because while they spoke, my mind replayed the last month with new understanding. Her sudden change in tone. The way she began gathering tiny flaws like evidence. The late-night calls she muted the moment I walked in. The messages appearing with previews turned off. The defensive look when I'd ask, "Everything okay?" I told myself it was a phase. But people don't build interventions for partners they value. Still, I didn't confront her right away. I watched. I listened. I noticed her repeating her friend's judgments word for word, as if she had practiced them in the mirror. The truth settled over me like a cold weight. This wasn't about helping us. This was about publicly humiliating me safely, with backup on her turf. She thought she held all the power. She thought I would just sit there and absorb it. She thought silence meant defeat. She never realized silence was my strategy. When their little session ended, I didn't walk away. I stood, crossed the room, and picked up her phone from the counter where she'd carelessly left it. No password. Her mistake. Her friends stiffened. She stepped toward me. Too late. My thumb scrolled through messages she thought she had erased. Screenshots. Voice notes. Group chats labeled "fixing him." Not just critiques, tactics. "Let's bring up how he never opens up. He needs pressure to change. If he reacts badly, we'll call it denial." The last voice note was hers, calm, smooth, confident. "We'll corner him with kindness. He hates disappointing people. He'll fold." My chest didn't burn. It hardened. I turned the phone so she could see. She covered her mouth, eyes wide. I didn't mean, it's not, I was trying to help us." She stumbled through lies like someone tripping in shallow water. Her friends stared at their feet, suddenly very quiet. I watched them without emotion. Impressive, I whispered. Her face broke. I set the phone down gently. No yelling. No fury. Just truth. You spent weeks preparing a performance, I said. An ambush disguised as concern. She shook her head desperately. No, I wanted you to get better. For who? I asked. She didn't answer. Silence did. Her friends shifted, guilt settling over them like a weight. I exhaled. You know the funniest part? I said. You didn't even hide it well. Her lips trembled. I thought you'd react differently, she whispered. That, I said quietly, is exactly the problem. I stood, put on my jacket, and headed toward the door. She hurried in front of me, frantic. Where are you going? Somewhere your friends don't run the relationship, I said. And you don't perform in it. Her breath hitched. Her knees weakened, realization hitting slowly and heavily. Wait, please just sit and talk. We already did, I said. Her friends watched, powerless now, smaller than before, deflated. Her intervention had become her own. I stepped outside into the cool night air. No anger. No heartbreak. Just clarity, sharp and clean. She had searched for my flaws, wrote notes on my shortcomings, gathered an audience, and in the process, exposed the only flaw that actually mattered. She never wanted a partner. She wanted control. At the end of the driveway, I felt lighter than I had in months. Behind me, I heard the door open. Her voice cracked. Please don't leave like this. I didn't turn. I didn't stop. I didn't give her the ending she rehearsed. My voice was quiet, steady, final. You wanted a man you could fix.